Empowered women empower the world. Welcome to Her Story, where we celebrate the strength, resilience, and achievements of women who are making a difference. Today's episode is a testament to how empowered women can shape industries and inspire change. Stay with us as we explore the incredible journeys of women who are not just leading, but empowering the world around them. Rajni Tamang is a dynamic entrepreneur and creative head with a passion for interior design and innovation. After resigning from her government teaching position, she pursued her dream of entrepreneurship, founding Home Basic and Interiors, a firm dedicated to crafting stylish and environmentally conscious spaces. And we have her here with us today at her own store, Home Basics, located in town. Hello and welcome.
Hi.
So, Raji, before anything, I always like to take my guests back to when they were a kid and share with us a core childhood memory that stayed with you.
Well, when I look back at my childhood memories, I think it was just recently, me and my sister, we sat down and we reflected, in fact, and we were talking about how we used to play this make-believe, and she used to make clothes out of paper cutting,
The paper
and
dolls,
paper dolls and stone dolls, and I would do everything with paper and stone, wood. I would make all sofa sets, playing with. So I used to do home those days also, and then she would play fashion designing. Yes,
the dolls' clothes and
Yeah.
all that. And she ended up in fashion and you ended up in interior.
Yes, I think unknowingly.
So you didn't know. I was going to ask
Yeah,
you.
so I think now that many people ask me about how I got into this, I reflect back and I think, oh, it was there in me. It was there from a very young age. But you know how it used to be, and it still is. But we have gone far now. I think when we were small, we were very timid and very limited informations about what we wanted to become, and there was our parents were not aware of what was happening.
We didn't have that exposure.
Yes, yes, we did not. And what I saw was my parents were both teachers, my uncle, aunt, everyone teacher in the family. So what I saw was, oh, teaching, teacher is what I want to become. And that's where I landed. And my sister, since she was the youngest, and everyone said, oh, and those days it was all about computer science and everything to do with computer. So she landed up doing that, and she landed in bank, and I landed in school. That is
I
how
first
it was.
met you as a vibrant teacher. I looked at you and I couldn't imagine you doing anything else but teach.
Teaching,
And
right.
you were a very beloved teacher. You were full of energy. You still are. And back then, I couldn't have imagined you in this field of work now. But then you made that switch. First of all, let's find out why, how did you do that switch?
I think the entrepreneurship, the business thing was always there in me from very small. We have families, members who used to run businesses, and I would do part-time with them and stay. Maybe it was just there. It was, the business thing was there in me.
Yeah. But what gave you the push though? You had a very, you worked as a government teacher, like a civil servant teacher. Then you switched into being a private teacher.
Yeah.
Is it you couldn't sit still for too long?
Yes,
Or
yes,
what
exactly. To me, it was, in government school especially, that was in 2010-11 when I was in Chapcha Middle Secondary. The time starts from morning 8 and then it finishes at 3:25. So I am looking at this time and I'm saying, what am I going to do at the rest of the day? And that is how I started doing little things, even while I was a teacher. And then I was involved in a lot of co-curricular activities, yeah.
You had your hands full.
Yes, and then I started to think, okay, so I have been a teacher now, and I'm looking at where my children are. I mean, we are all said teacher, a noble profession. Okay, I respect that, but I was all the time looking for myself. I was like, where am I going to go? My teachers are my students are going. They are graduating, they are passing out. They're going to become doctor, engineer, whatever they want to become. They're going to, and especially when you're in a school, and the first thing you enter a class is you ask your children. their name and what is their ambition. So I hear all different ambitions, and I am there standing as a teacher, and I did not want that for the rest of my life.
It wasn't for you.
No, yes, I mean, teaching, even today, if you ask me to teach, I will, but that is not my full-time thing.
Home Basics Interiors is the store you have right now. But even before that, you had a couple of
Yes.
other businesses.
Yes.
If you wanted to.
So I resigned in 2012, let's say 2012, and 13 I joined private school. So no stone unturned. I tried everything, you know, from government to private. I went to Druk school, and there was no vacancy. I just walked in. I did my micro teaching, and then they just selected me, and that's where I met you in 2013. And then ever since we have been friends, you know. So while I was there, I was comparing the rules and regulations and how it's going to work for me. I was not looking for anybody else. It was just me. And it was the government and the private. So there was a lot of comparison for me, and I thought, oh, okay, this is not what I want to be. And then came the opportunity when my sister, my eldest sister, so like I said, all of us are into the business, and they were moving out of the country, and she had opened the first ever franchise store in Bhutan, Ginny and Johnny, in 2011. And so I took that business over from 2014 when she moved out. So that's a blessing for me. That's been a blessing in disguise for me, and that's where I started to practice, you know, doing business. And then I realized, oh, I'm doing fantastic in this. And it was just in 2024 September that we closed down Ginny Johnny, because I fully wanted to focus on this.
You also had
yes, we also had another store. So in connection with the kids store, I thought, why not have a store for women? I mean, I always look at opportunities. So the opportunity for me was when a mother is coming to shop for the child, they would as well shop for themselves. So that is how I connected the two stores, and that is how it worked.
And after you have targeted the child and the mother, you're now targeting
I'm
the
targeting the
home.
family.
So what made you decide, like, you want to focus on this? What from Home Basics Interior was getting to you? How was it assuring you that you can give up on the others and you can focus on this?
See, it happened during the lockdown. You know, I don't know, many people say, I mean, that was the worst phase of our life, but for me that was the best phase, I must say. It was during the lockdown that I started doing online courses, and I was looking at, and even before that, while we were making all the stores, Ginny, Johnny, Home Basic Loft, all of this, all the interiors, all the carpentry work, I would do it myself. You know, we never hired anyone for that matter. It was just me and my husband. He was always very supportive. And so it was the two of us always doing something on the other. And people said, whatever profits you have made, you are always, you know, putting it back. So I think that was a trial phase for me, where I was trying out everything. And then came my sister's store, CDK. Then I was doing the interior. I was doing everybody's. Yeah. And well, that I didn't identify myself as, okay, this is what I wanted to do, you know, at the end. Yes, and then during the lockdown, I started to, I should say it was just before the lockdown also, when we completed our own home, and I was looking for people to do wallpapers. I was looking for people to do so many, you know, interior things, and I was never satisfied. I was like, oh, I can do a better job than them. And that's how I went on hands-on, you know, doing wallpapers. It came out perfectly. Whatever I did was like better than the professional ones. And then that is how I started doing online courses, and I was looking into color palettes, how to match the colors, and that is how it all started.
But then there is, I mean, I think starting a business and carrying on with the business is one thing. But I also believe, especially in your field of work, there must be something inherent in you for you to know the color palettes. I think understanding, looking at something and thinking, I can do a better job putting this and something else together.
Yeah.
It has to be innate in you.
Yes. Yes, I do believe in that. It's, you know, even the moment I look into colors, I know that this and this is going to go. Even when the moment I go and look at any empty space, not just empty, any filled space also, I just go and have a look. Oh, I know that, oh, this is not going to be here. This is not the right place. You know, this has to be here or that has to. So it's there in me. It's just that I am not technically or you know, professionally trained in doing all these graphic designs and all of that. But inside it's there running, you know, oh, this has to be here and that has to be there. Yeah.
What are you most proud of? You have done a couple of places, you have maybe designed furnitures, and I believe you and your husband have also built furnitures together.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you're really proud of?
It is the process of making anything. I'm yeah, from scratch. For example, look at this. You know, it's the process and the end, the final product. I'm always proud of myself when I'm doing something, when I'm making something, you know. And then when people say, oh, like they just come and start looking, the way you look and the way I look will be very different. And then because I know that at the end, it's always there in my mind when somebody is giving me advices, I say, oh, but you have no idea what I'm going to turn this into, you know. So that is always there. And then when the final end product comes, like that's the time when I'm really proud of.
You're right, how you have to be visionary, and that's one term that I associate with you. You can look at a shabby, dull looking place and imagine the beauty that can come out of it.
Yeah.
Is this something that you have to practice, or does it come naturally to you?
I think that's very natural. That's very natural. I just look at places and then I think that this can be made, you know, into better, be it anything, I think, for that matter. Yeah.
What are some challenges? Let's talk about things that didn't work out, because as any entrepreneur would say, failure comes with whenever you start something. There's always failures that you have to face. What are some, let's talk about an incident where you failed, but also let's learn about how you overcame.
Okay, I think failure for me at the moment would be making new products. You know, when I am making, there's a lot of challenges. The kind of people that you work with, the material that you know you put in, and the time, energy, money, everything that you have put in, and then the product doesn't come the way you want to.
So that has happened.
Yeah, that has happened to us.
What do you do then?
That is why I do all flipping furniture, we do refurbishing, we do, you know, all revamping places. So I think that all comes as a part of when you're doing interior.
Do you ever worry about taking on a challenge or a new project and worrying it might not turn out the way you want it?
No, I am that way. I am not. I like challenges, and I always say I will always make it you know, better than what it is at now. And in connection to this, I always remember about when I first went as a teacher in my school in Chapcha. I had this saying that I had posted, like just pasted on the, you know, my decks, where it said, always leave a place better than what you have found. So it was always there in front of me, and I always practiced that.
What was the most rewarding moment in your entrepreneurial journey? Was it a collaboration, or was it you building something and realizing it's a popular product that's selling?
The right kind of people coming to appreciate, the right kind of people who knows that we are dealing with all this sustainable, we're doing it all the sustainable way. So I think that's been more rewarding for me.
What does the future of Home Basics Interior look like for you now, the future?
The future is bright.
What do you want to do with it? Something like?
We will have a lot of infusion of latest, better, you know, everybody, when you are into business, you only want to do better and better. So that is what I hope to. And not just about selling products, but now that we are also into services, where we are revamping houses, we are restructuring the entire, you know.
You're doing the interiors of people's homes.
Yes,
yeah.
And along with that goes the furniture that we, the client chooses from the store, and we do all of that. um, and maybe gradually you will end up into real estate.
Okay.
So that is my plan 10 years from now.
Raji, if you could meet your younger self when you were younger, what advice would you give her?
Instead of being influenced by my that family very noble profession, teaching, I would have chosen from the very basic of learning interiors. Yeah. Then I would at least have paper to hold, a certificate to hold, saying, oh, this is what I did. But at the moment, that's not what I have done. So.
But then you now don't have any regrets there.
No, I don't. No, yes, no, I don't.
So the
like I
advice
said,
is to
anytime
be-
you call me, I'm there.
All right. Okay. Raji, this is the Barbara Walters question. In your own words, complete the sentence. Okay. Rajni Tamang is.
A Midas touch.
Okay. All right. Look at that.
And this, when I say Midas touch, is not something that it was not something that I discovered it myself, but it was one of our friend. I have to credit that, okay. And then she always said, "Oh, Raji, you are, you have that Midas touch. You turn everything into, yeah."
Yes. Wow. That's a big compliment.
Yes, it is. So that's always been in my mind.
Okay. When have you been the proudest of using your voice? Have you, as a woman in the world of business in the country, there's not a lot of examples in Mega, which is why I'm asking this question. When have you been the proudest? And it doesn't have to be professional, it can be personal too. When have you been the proudest of using your voice as a woman in your field of work?
I think more than the voice, it's been the action for me. Yeah, you have seen whatever I do is all through action. So. Yeah.
What gives you so much courage? Like, who's the support system behind you? What gives you so much bravery to forge on and go after dreams that have remained dreams for most people, but you're making it into reality?
I do take suggestions, I do take advices, from my sister, from my husband, but at the end of the day, I think it's me behind, myself. If for, or any individual for that matter, I think it's you at the end of the day that you must trust. The others will give you advices, whatever, but then I think at the end of the day, it has to be you. And if you do not put that, whatever is coming into action, it's never going to work. So it's been, yes, that way. I'll say my friends, my very close friends, my husband, my sisters, yes.
Okay, all right. One last question. What's the biggest lesson you've learned through your entrepreneurial journey? What's the biggest lesson?
The biggest lesson that way, I think, is listening to people, for me. I mean, one comes and tells me this, and the other comes and tells me this. There are just so many, like, ani begobe. But then I listen and I try to do it, but then that is not me. It doesn't happen.
Sometimes.
So, yeah,
and sometimes it works.
It works,
but
right.
the key
It also
is
works.
that you listen. You listen.
But like I said, at the end of the day, it's you.
It's you. Yeah. All right. Okay, Raji, thank you so much for your time. We are now going to our last segment, which is the fun questions, okay?
Okay. Past. I am so much into this. I would love to see how would people have made all this vintage, interior and vintage furniture. Where technology does not exist. Queen Elizabeth. Carpentry. Outer space.
Rajni Tamang's journey from teacher to successful entrepreneur is a testament to passion, resilience, and daring to dream. Her story reminds us that with determination, anything is possible. Thank you, Rajni, for sharing your inspiring journey with us today. Thank you for joining us on Her Story. And remember, your story is a part of the greater narrative of change and progress. Until next time, keep writing your own Her Story. Bye-bye.